gentlemen, tighten your seatbelt as we take you on this smooth ride. Let's go! It's the morning drive on 103.5 Bona DFM, keeping your morning engaging as we take you through the smoothest ride on radio from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Get your morning inspired, be informed, let's interact only on the morning drive. Make it a date with Martin Efanshuku, aka Meta,
and Tracy, aka Emenari, aka Classy.
From Monday to Friday, from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. on the morning drive. 103.5 FM.
Good morning and welcome to Ebona, the 103.5 FM today, the 26th day of February 2024, and today is Monday. The time is a minute past the hour of 7. It's time for newspaper headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. This morning, we are going to take you through the news making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers, but before we do that, let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines. Please, stay with us.
Do you know that you have the right to quality broadcasting? The National Broadcasting Commission says any person, group of persons, or organization aggrieved by the content of a broadcast or the conduct of a broadcast station may lodge a complaint to the station and all right to the Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, number 20, Ibrahim Taiwo Street, Asokoro, Abuja, or send a mail via info@nbc.gov.ng. Please ensure that the complaint includes name of the broadcast station, title of the program, date and time of broadcast, and essence of the complaint. Also, remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and append your signature. Note that the complaint must reach the NBC within 14 days of the queried broadcast. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
Welcome back to newspaper headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. This morning, we are going to take you through the news making the headlines on the Guardian newspaper, Leadership, Vanguard, Punch, Daily Post, Sun, The Nation. This day, and if time permits, we're also going to take a look at Nigerian Tribune. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-96661035. You can as well join us on Facebook as we are live at Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Drop your comment on the comment section of the live video. You can equally stream us online via mixlr.com/gistfm. I am Martin. Let's get started with the Punch newspaper this morning. Akeredolu was a prophet, predicted Ade be governor, Ayedatiwa. Over 50,000 Kanu patent medicine dealers out of job. Chairman, FUNAB to make Choyinka's residence a research center. Edo APC plans reconciliation after governor primary crisis. Edo APC plans reconciliation after governorship primary crisis. Hardship. Group kicks as police warn against a protest. Lagos plans additional 2,050 BRT buses. EFCC recovered 60 billion naira in 100 days, says Olukoyede. Qatar backtracks, welcomes investment forum with Tinubu. Villagers plan mass burial for bandits killed in supremacy battle. ECOWAS. Nigerians, northern senators hail lifting of sanctions. ECOWAS. Nigerians, northern senators hail lifting of sanctions. Learn from Argentina's economic reforms, Atiku tells Tinubu. Edo Labour Party crisis deepens as third candidate emerges. Still on the stories, making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Punch newspaper this morning. 50th anniversary Punch photo exhibition begins Wednesday. Sanwo-Olu unveils palliative advisory committee. Ado Poly targets agriculture to boost IGR. Ministry to unveil enterprises program. Over 15,000 pastoralists killed in farmer header clashes. Makban. 447 Boronu families displaced by Boko Haram resettlement. Zulum. Benue governor swears in replacement for sacked local government chairman. Food smuggling. Customs to man 1,500 illegal routes with drones. Simba TVS unveils CNG-powered tricycle. Economic hardship. No going back on planned protest. NLC. Terrorists kill 15 worshippers at Burkina Faso church. Tinubu sets up tripartite economic advisory committee. EFCC police arrest armed robbery suspect. FCT minister's residence gutted by fire. FCT minister's residence gutted by fire. Minister decries underutilization of federal government's investments in power sector. Don't listen to unpatriotic politicians. Guru Maharaji urges youth. Federal government condemns attacks on journalists in Gaza. Nigerians welcome lifting of regional sanctions by ECOWAS. Economic hardship. NLC's protest non-content. Falana tells AGF. Economic hardship. NLC protest not content. Falana tells AGF. Many feared killed as rival bandit group clashes in Zamfara. Many feared killed as rival bandit groups clash in Zamfara. And that's the much we can take from the Punch newspaper this morning. Newspaper will flip over to leadership newspaper. Non-governmental organization seeks end to insurance of new fossil fuel projects. Shell involves more indigenous contractors in key projects. Nine Mobile urges subscribers to link NIN to phone lines. ECOMOF 2024. UBA affirms pledge to stimulate African economic expansion. Civil society organizations advise NLC to explore dialogue with federal government. NAPAS. PS new president unveils agenda. Federal government condemns attacks on journalists in Gaza, calls for ceasefire. Tinubu meets stakeholders, a set-up team on economic crisis. Bellows legacies in Kogi, what emulating editors. Only 25% of vehicles in Nigeria insured. FRSC, NIA, group rallies stakeholders for urgent housing sector dialogue. Governance, compliance, national budget critical to insurance stability. 4,000 benefits from sale of seized rice. Hardship. Adopt Argentina's Jeva Miller approach to reforms. Atiku tells Tinubu. Tele-evangelist emerge Edo NMPP Guba candidate. I have not left Labour Party, Obi. Akeredoro. Nigeria lost a fearless soldier, unwavering advocate, Tinubu. APC almost set up for another electoral disaster, though Edo primary. Lukman. Idahosa rejects APC primary election. Edo 2024, Opegoro urges unity to win Guba race. Apapa faction submits Baresa Asemota name as Edo Guba candidate. Ex-MBA President Akpata wins Edo Labour Party governorship primary. Nicom boss commends boxer Ibokwe, aka Raf Trouble. Tinubu approved the payment of outstanding debt to Eagles, Eno. 2024 qualifier 2024 Olympic qualifier. Promptress certified with Super Falcons draw against Cameroon. CAF Con Cup. Rivers United seek vital points away. Iwobi strikes late as Fulham beat Man United at Old Trafford. And that's the much we can take from the leadership newspaper this morning. From the leadership newspaper, we'll flip over to Vanguard newspaper. Ondo governorship poll. I will pick APC ticket. Aida Tiwa. Fashoranting to Yoruba people. Shun protests, rallies. Nigerian nurses drag NMCN to court over a controversial circular. Apapa's faction sends Asemuta's name to INEC. Power supply to Northeast drops by 5 megawatts as vandals destroy TCN towers. Ex-Imo Deputy Governor Madumere loses mother. No proliferation of fake drugs in Nigeria, NAFDAC insists. Federal government condemns attacks on journalists in Gaza, calls for immediate ceasefire in Israel-Palestine conflict. Insecurity. I'll continue fighting against injustice in Southwest. Sunday, Igboho. Federal government, Afrexim Bank partner on $1 billion healthcare investment. Why time is running out for Tinubu to do the right thing. Ben Obi. Hardship. We will go on with planned protests. NLC replies federal government. First subsidy. Tinubu acted in Nigeria's best interest on Anuga. Hardship. Tinubu inherited dead economy. Fayose. Edoguba. Lamidi Apapa's letter to INEC. Fraudulent, says Labour Party. Government is overbloated. Civil servants must be slashed. Tunde Bakare. Clamp down on BDC operators will worsen FX crisis. Peter Obi. Still on the stories making headlines on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Police nabs a notorious armed robber for stabbing victim over iPhone in Abuja. Hardship. 65 civil society organizations pull out of NLC TUC planned strike. Plateau. Natives allegedly shot by soldiers. Petition Chief of Defense Staff, GOC 3 Division, Inspector General of Police, orders. 15,000 notorious kidnappers in 40 camps. Evil lives fear. High cost of sachet water triggers return of iced water. Still on the stories making headlines on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Socio-economic rights and accountability project sues governors. Wike over failure to account for missing 40 trillion naira local government allocations. Restructure now or Nigeria will go under. Opaduku, Nadeko leader. MFLA demands apology. 25 billion naira from Akpabio over alleged defamation. NECA, oil marketers to federal government. Chum Pride, review fuel subsidy removal, flotation of naira. That's the much we can take from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. From the Vanguard newspaper, we'll flip over to the Guardian newspaper. Nurses drag Farouk to court over verification of certificates to foreign boards. Governor Alia replaces 3 council chairmen. Edo 2024, Idahosa emerges Labour Party governorship candidate in parallel primary. In Vienna, Nigerian non-governmental organization calls for global action on inclusive education in IDP camps. Palomo Rotary Club spends 5 million naira to refurbish Lagos school. NAPTIP expertise France move against human trafficking in Ondo. NAPTIP experts France move against human trafficking in Ondo. NLC insists on going ahead with planned protests. Ohaneze seeks apology from Gowon over Civil War comments. Hashtag NSAS, 3 years after, normalcy yet to return fully in parts of Cross River. Police arrest 2 robbery suspects in Rivers. Fake philanthropists arrested for allegedly stealing 18 bags of rice in Enugu. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency arrests port terminal operator Doc Walker over 1,044.29 kilogram cocaine. Colos. EFCC naps 36 internet fraudsters in Kaduna. Non-governmental organization sensitizes underserved communities on rights. SGBV. Non-governmental organization sensitizes underserved communities on rights. SGBV. FX crisis, Nigeria falling out of top 4 African economies on weak currency. Conditional cash transfer to draw as NLC dares federal government mobilizes for nationwide protest. SACA urges citizens to be patient. Use Lenten season to pray for Nigeria. Ijasa Indians in US float 1 billion naira for infrastructure projects in homeland. Palomo Rotary Club spends 5 million naira on renovating school. Continue with Akeredoru's legacies. Don't abandon them, Bishop tells Ayedatiwa. Sanwo-Olu, sports ministers turn the sword of the arena in Lagos. Fair hearing. CAMA breach. Court orders 3 Indians to pay octogenarian 98.2 million naira, $325,000. Climate change. Lagos generates 13 tons of waste daily, home to 22 million generators, says experts. Police arrest 8 robbers who killed officer, took rifle. Water aid partners Lagos, Cummins in provision of water, sanitation at public schools. Obaseki visits condoles with family over passing of Asaba. NLC insists on going ahead with planned protests. NAPTIP expertise France move against human trafficking in Ondo. Confusion as Qatar declines Tinubu's investment forum request, reverses self 24 hours later. Confusion as Qatar declines Tinubu's investment forum request, reverses self 24 hours later. That's the much we can take from the Guardian newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning. From the Guardian newspaper, we'll flip over to the Daily Post newspaper. Tinubu meets business sector players, 6 way out of economic quagmire. Renewed call for more states sparks fresh controversy. Protests will hold as planned. NLC President Ajero. Nigeria Correctional Service denies deaths of 8 inmates. You are responsible for Nigeria's economic woes. Atiku tackles Tinubu. Israel-Palestine conflict. Nigerian government condemns attacks on journalists. Fire gusts FCT minister's residence. Niger Delta women urge Tinubu not to approve divestment of Shell, Ajib, ExxonMobil. misplaced priority. Peter Obi knocks Tinubu over arrest of BDC operators. Tinubu holds a crucial meeting with Dangote Elumelu. Others, persons with disabilities caution NLC against strike. Don't protest against Tinubu. Afenifere begs Yorubas, Nigerians. And that's the much we can take from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. From the Daily Post newspaper, we'll flip over to the Sun newspaper. Celestine Babayaro commends a sports minister, Eno. Japanese envoy lost firm on local assembly of home electronic appliances. Your unverified utterances unbecoming. Ex-minister cancels Akpabio. NAFDAC threatens pharmaceutical companies aiding sale of falsified substandard products. CBN must peg customs duty exchange rate at 1,000 naira per dollar to ease current hardships. CPPE. Ohaneze inaugurates Uwabunwa-led Igbo Business Leaders Council. Why we chose Gatwick Airport for our London operations. Onyema, Airpeace CEO. Tinubu sets up tripartite economic advisory committee. Fire engulfs FCT minister's home. Gaza, federal government condemns attacks on journalists. Kumi to youths, be vigilant. Word of distractions amid hardship. European Union Africa Working Group begins a 4-day visit to Nigeria. European Union Africa Working Group begins a 4-day visit to Nigeria. Planned strike. 65 civil society organizations dish NLC, TUC. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency arrests port terminal operator dock worker over 1,044.29 kilogram cocaine. Colos. Economic hardship. Afenifere joins Ohanese's call against protest. Protest not solution to economic hardship. Coalition plead with NLC. Others. Hastrop appointed patroness of COA. Hastrop appointed patroness of COA. Hardship. Outbreak of waterborne disease. Imminent health experts. Residents 1. Again, Boko Haram destroys the TCN towers, throw Damaturu town into darkness. Satguru Maharaji rallies support for Tinubu. 9 Mobile urges subscribers to link their NIN to their phone lines. Army Chief tax combat support units on effective logistics support. National Unity Forum praise for President Tinubu. INEC chairman declares February 25th National Intercession Day. Food insecurity is enough to destabilize citizenship and the nation. Falula, US-based historian. Economic intervention. Senator Asopu Ebeyong felicitates grants. Distributes essential business items to over 700 constituents. Senator Asoko Ebeyong pushes bill for creation of South-South Development Commission. Another PDP chieftain dumps party in Abia. Improved elections. Civil society organizations to organize a national prayers for INEC boss, Prof. Mahmood. Non-governmental organization wages war against early child marriage. Federal government states urged to double their efforts towards ameliorating hardship. Ohaneze charges Sanwo-Olu on proactive initiative on palliatives. And that's the much we can take from the Sun newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning. From the Sun newspaper, we'll flip over to the Nation newspaper. Rivers APC accuses Fubara of reneging on peace deal. APC mourns a member, 6 others in stampede at customs yard. Success, credibility of 2023 polls for stored mayhem, says activist. NGE, Yahaya Bello's legacy infrastructure, others worth emulating. Not senators hail Tinubu, ECOWAS leaders for lifting sanctions on Niger Republic. How to fix economy, stimulate growth by Atiku. Court adjourns Eco Atlantic City's dredging suit. Price for auctioned vehicles is 400,000 naira, not 10,000 naira, says customs. Courts pay octogenarian 98.2 million naira, $325,000. How to avert food crisis by experts. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning. APC chieftain members voted for power shift. Senator gives 150 bags of 50 kg rice to flood communities. Stop cash dollar transactions to save naira. Women change makers to get awards. Women change makers to get awards. Rates likely to go up after MPC medium meeting. Southeast governors unite on region's economic growth, says OT. Southwest PDP meets Ekiti stakeholders for peace. With Okpeboro's emergence, APC will reclaim Edo, says Abomere. Ekiti to begin tractorization scheme. Emergency of a new city in Oyo underway. And that's the much we can paper this morning. From the Nation newspaper, we'll flip over to this day newspaper. Nationwide protest. Falana Rice federal government says NLC not in contempt of court. Uzoka and it. Nigeria to influence policy outcomes as WTO MC13 begins today in United Arab Emirates. Financial service sector's contribution to GDP 6.5% to 3.8 trillion naira. Why dollar accretion? Trump's blame in FX management. Building blocks of pension assets safety under CPS. Federal government to get 25 million euros Netherlands grant for construction of bridges in Nigeria. Amid shortages, upstream gas operators seek price hike to between $2.60 MCF to $5 MCF. TCN confirms another insurgent attack on 2 transmission towers in Northeast. Atiku, why Tinubu should learn from Argentina's Javier Miller's approach to reforms. Financial services, we've taken this. NAMA strengthens a partnership with Nigerian Air Force to enhance safety. FBN Quest, sustained tight monetary policy will heighten market yields. Japanese envoy commends scary on local assembly of home electronic appliances. The 3 wise men for Edo government house. Enough of this unending blame game. Wike and his inglorious plans for 2027. Can parliamentary system resolve Nigeria's challenges? You're listening to newspaper headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. We will now go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines. Please stay with us.
delicious. Love my friend, energizing and refreshing. Love my friend, the aroma is so yummy. Love my friend, it's a friend for the family. Sweetie, sweetie, love my friend. Yummy, yummy, love my friend. Sweetie, sweetie, love my friend. Yummy, yummy, love my friend.
Love Bite Bread, a family love produced under a good hygienic environment with NAFDAC approval. Love Bite Bread produced with enough milk and honey that makes it sweet and yummy. Love Bite Bread energizes, refreshes, and nourishes the body. It's a family love. Love Bite Bread, a product of Love Bite Foods and Beverages Limited in Love, located at number 1 Uotu Malikakulon, Kumuro Nyobi, Anambra State. Phone 0814 982 8254. Love Bite Bread. Eat healthy, live healthy.
Sweetie, sweetie, love my friend. Yummy, yummy, love my friend.
Country people, another ogbonge opportunity don land for you to secure your own landed property for better location with small money before price go carry you go where you don't know. This one na legit info from the stables of Robin Fave Concept Limited. I know say you don't sabi that name by now. Robin Fave Concept Limited na big name for this real estate business. We get the track record and we dey deliver for everything we talk. Now we bring you Blessed Garden Estate, Phase 1 and Phase 2. Now we still bring you Airlight Garden Estate and Unique Garden Estate. All these estates, they're the capital city of Delta State, and people when sabi levels don't buy them finish. But no worry, because land no dey finish. And our work now to direct you go where you go get the best value for your money. This time, we don't carry and come your domot with the brand new Golden City Garden Estate, Otulu, just 2 minutes from Akuku Igbo local government secretariat. This one now confirm premium estate when you fit get with small money when no go turn your eye at all. Just 350,000 naira for one plot inside our special promo when they on now. From now till 2 weeks time. This estate dey for Otulu off Asaba Benin Expressway, just 2 minutes from Asaba Housing Estate and 5 minutes from Wichtech Group of Companies. Golden City Garden Estate dey for good location when be say na only 20 minutes e go take from Coca Junction flyover, 10 minutes from Asaba International Airport, and e no far from the express road. For inside Golden City Garden Estate, you go enjoy light and water 247. The environment clean and the day serene for you and your family with good road network and street light go dey shine for every corner. You no go worry about security because solid fence dey around the estate and security men when them train wella go man the gate 247. On top that one, recreational center dey for your maximum relaxation. Wetin you dey wait for? Waka come Robin Fave Concept Limited office make you collect your own plot inside the brand new Golden City Garden Estate. Because special promo dey on now. And for this promo season, you go get 464 square meters of land when be 50 by 100, one plot for only 350,000 naira. This promo now for only 2 weeks. So no dull yourself. With only 350k, you don't become landlord inside this correct estate for with capital city. Call us today for 081 68 32 2403. That is 081 68 32 2403. I say 081 68 32 2403. Once you pay, we go allocate your land, give you sharply, plus give you deed of assignment, register survey plan, and government approved decision. Where go show say even government confirm what we do. You no get anything to worry about. Now we dey run am. If you no get all the money to pay now, you fit dey pay small for the one where they call installment payment plan. Whether na 3 months, 6 months, or even 12 months, as long as you no go turn your eye, better payment plan dey for you to choose. Take advantage of this special promo when they on now unto say one plot of land 464 square meters now only 350,000 naira. Because once this promo end, the price will increase small, and the promo now just 2 weeks it go last. Secure the future for you and your family. Buy your own land today. Make yourself become landlord inside the new Golden City Garden Estate
Otulu, when the only 2 minutes from Akuku Igbo Local Government Secretariat. Come our office when they inside Jimok Petrol Station, Kilometer 8, Asaba Benin Expressway, Asaba, Delta State. Or call us on top 081 68 32 2403. That is 081 68 32 2403. I say 081 68 32 2403. Now, Robin Fave Concept Limited, they develop Golden City Garden Estate.
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on Ebonadi FM, as the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be,
Our government, whatever.
Street Report is here to make sense of it all. Street Report is causing social change across your streets, in your community. Street Report is here with hardcore journalism to get to the roots of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin Ifanju, number the force, every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on Ebonade 103.5 FM as Street Reports unfolds
In your face.
on Emas Ebonade corner
24/7. 24/7.
You're welcome back to Newspaper Headlines on Ebonade 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-9666-1035. You can as well join us on Facebook as we are live at Ebonade 103.5 FM. We are on to this day newspaper. Nigeria and echoes of secrets on democracy. European ambassadors, how Russia's unprovoked aggression against Ukraine concerns Nigerians. Ameliorating hardship with relief measures for Lagos residents. Brain drain. UK-based Nigerian medical practitioner calls for implementation of 15% Abuja Health Declaration. Liverpool beat Chelsea to claim 10th Carabao Cup. Oshime's goal not enough to aim Napoli all 3 points. University of Osun gets new deputy vice chancellor. NTIC, NMC in 21 years continue to call maths phobia. And that's the much we can take from this day newspaper this morning. From this day newspaper, we'll flip over to Nigerian Tribune. Poor economy. We don't have all answers. Tinubu, Atiku to Tinubu, adopt my plans to stabilize economy. 65 civil society organizations pull out from planned NLC nationwide protests. Retired Hajj administrators to convene stakeholders conference. Attacks on BDCs wrongly directed will escalate FX crisis. P2B. EEDC to shut down service. February 24th. How Nigeria can overcome security, economic challenges, save the Naira. Naseni X EVC. Hardship. Adopt Argentina's Javier Miller approach to reforms. Article tells Tinubu, desist from using successful unbelievers as role models. Enenche warns Nigerians. See $6 billion Mambila project. EFCC taking unlawful actions, threatening my family. Adesanya rise Tinubu. STOAN chairman Hastrop appointed patroness of COA. Annual flooding in Niger ravages communities in Muye, Lapia, local government areas. UBA pledges support for ECOWAS on mining, oil sectors development, military operations. NAF graduates 47 medical personnel. Ex-governor Nyame expresses concern over growing insecurity in Taraba. That's the much we can take from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper to mark the conclusion of all that we have for you on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on Airborne the 103.5 FM. We'll now flip over to our WhatsApp portal for reactions. On our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message. It is coming from Agunabo. He's joining us from Ofa Aguluzibu, and he says, economic hardship saga. What federal government should do to avoid more casualty? Let them seek international community for help, because many people died for hunger. I still insist that a protest is not the solution, but worsening insecurities, incessant killing, kidnapping, mismanagement, and present president are the causes of what we are suffering today. They don't have the masses at heart, but their only concern is about their pockets. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message. It's coming from Amechi Nene from Uro Weremkole Ogidi, and he says, okay, thank you so much for joining us too. And then we have this message. It is coming from Chike Obata from Obinetiti Okozo. And it says, police warn against a protest. Nigerian police is the problem of this country called Nigeria. Kudos to Atiku for telling President Tinubu the truth. Yes, Peter will be still in Labour Party. NLC should go ahead with the strike. President Tinubu, please return fuel subsidy, because this is the beginning of hardship in this country. Can the parliamentary system solve the problem of Nigeria? My answer is no, because Nigeria is too large for one person to rule. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message. It is coming from Waloto Patrick from Monteje, and he says, I totally agree with the civil society organizations that NLC should seek for dialogue with the federal government over the planned nationwide protest, and believe the NLC, TUC should first of all put their house in order before they should contemplate on any protest or strike. Why do I say this? In a situation where NLC is unilaterally declares a nationwide strike, and TUC says it is not part of the protest, how do you think that the proposed protest will record a huge success? In my opinion, the protest will be a huge failure, because while the members of NLC will be protesting, the members of TUC will be going about their normal businesses, and as a result, the aim of the protest will be defeated. That is why I said that they should first of all put their houses in order before any protest. It is equally advisable that somebody should not even think of starting something he knows very well that he would not finish. In the same vein, I want to commend the governor of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, for what he is doing in Lagos State, just to alleviate what the plight of the people of Lagos as a result of the removal of fuel subsidy. This is coming from Waloto Patrick from Monteja. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message is coming from Engineer Ebuka Joshua Dawson, and he's joining us from 33. And it says federal government should wake up as job losses, factory closures loom as unsold goods pile up. Power supply to Northeast drops by 5 megawatts as vandals destroy TCN towers. Does it mean there will be total blackout again and no solution to it? Federal government should consult international communities for help. They should swallow up their pride. Engineer Ebuka Joshua Dawson joining us from 33. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll now flip over to our SMS portal for more reactions. From our SMS portal this morning, we have this message. It's coming from Alaket Adams Ubina, and he says building a military base in Bokos will not help matters until the killers, Fulani Marudas, are fished out in Plateau State. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message that says Ajero insists on protest. Okay, you see. He says, okay, Ajero insists protest must go on. It's a joke. How many times have he planned it and it failed? Though it is not for the Southeast, we will not participate. Sir White from Nice, thank you so much for joining us this morning. On our Facebook portal this morning, we have this message coming from Ozo Francis Nnamani, and it says, on the planned peaceful protest, I think it is duly allowed under a true democratic setting. The current administration should display that we are in democracy, not autocratic form of government. May God help us and to get things right. Ozo Francis Nnamani continued, and he says, the federal government should devise every possible means to address the current hardship in the country. Honestly, the average Nigerians are really not finding things easy again. Also, Francis Nnamani from Mama Gonze in Enugu State, thank you so much for joining us this morning. By NLC. Let us keep our fingers crossed because NLC has made itself a bunch of toothless dogs. It would have been more interesting if the group had been keeping to their words, but as it stands, people have known them as being flexible. He continued and says, poor economy. We do not have all answers said by Tinubu. This is the worst answer that a person who calls himself a father of a nation would give the citizenry. From all indication, it is obvious that Tinubu has no answer to the prevailing hardships in this country. Therefore, it will be better for him to step down honorably for the competent hand to take over his seat than deceiving the country. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Christian Ofondo. We have a message. It's coming from Kenneth Ndubisoka from Umweze Umunachi, and it says the federal government's threat to NLC over hardship protests is undemocratic and uncivil. No democratic government should impede citizens' freedom of expression. Any government that is devoid of ideas of fear protest, and this government is not distance from one. The worst of all is that security agencies that are supposed to protect the masses during protests turn to brutalize the protesters. Good government should not fear protests, but seek to address the cause of the protest. Kenneth Ndubisi Okafor from Umweze Umunachi. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message. It's coming from John Ume from Okozu, and it says, yesterday was the first anniversary of the day we Nigerians decided and elected who will be our president, but that decision was truncated after some days by the almighty Muhammadu Yakubu and the incumbent APC government led by Buhari and since then, things have fallen apart and the center cannot hold any longer. The spirit Nigerians exhibited on that day is still haunting Tinubu-led APC government and will continue to haunt them till eternity, because any evil done to man by man will certainly be redressed, if not now, then later. For the triumph of evil over good is only but temporary. Again, if NLC fails this time around to go for protest, then it is dead. They should ignore all those calling for dialogue because it will not work. Those in this government are the people that started protests in this country. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It's coming from Akidi Amoke Onyanabana Omonachi, and it says, hunger, starvation, and economic hardship in Nigeria. Please, may I appeal to federal government to open borders, so that the food stuff and some other things to come in. Akidi Amoke Onyanabana Omonachi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll flip over to our SMS portal for more reactions. From our SMS portal, we have this message. It's coming from KCG from Enugu State, and he says, federal government condemning attack on journalists in faraway Gaza is good, but ironically hypocritical, because all the broadcast stations have been... Okay, your message is not complete, but thank you so much for joining us this morning, KCG. Now we have this message. It is coming from Aja from Udume, and he says, my little advice to Nigerian government and APC, they should step down. Two persons will go fix Nigeria well than these atrocities and starvation they brought. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It's coming from Iweka Ifanye from Ikengo Gidi, and it says, please, it is not clear now that Tinubu and APC, it is not clear that Tinubu and APC-led government has nothing to help Nigeria. For a president to tell his people that he has run out of ideas, Oga Tinubu should step down and save Nigeria from drowning. Sir, posterity will remember you for that, sir. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Iweka Ifani from Ikenga Ogidi. Now we have this message. This one is coming from Honorable Onyedeka Osakwe, and he says the removal of first subsidy by the Tinubu government without feasibility study and prudent management of the exports realized from the process has caused not only quagmire but also economic recastration that has resulted to catastrophe in all the segments of the economy in the country, hence propelling hunger and civil unrest. The mute being kept by the federal government as people are being killed every day by bandits makes one to think, if they are in partnership for the federal government to condemn the attack in Gaza, while Nigeria is now under siege, is the hands of marauders, is just killing a fly. Honorable Osakwe continued, and he says what is happening to Chelsea FC is nothing but nemesis, as the former owner of the club, Abramovich, left the club with lamentations. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have a message from the boss from Okozu, and he says, what is wrong with Nigerian government waiting consign them over Israeli and Gaza as killing in Nigeria ended? What have they done? Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, federal government condemning attack on journalists in faraway Gaza is good, but ironically hypocritical because all the broadcast stations have been intimidated from the saying the truth and are always afraid of voicing. Okay, the FOI has been suppressed. Release Mazen Nandekano now, KCG from Enugu State. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. From our WhatsApp portal, we have this message that says, this one is coming from Agonabo, from Ufa, Agluzibo, and it says, Martin, does it mean that our government don't know what to do now? Let them hide their face in shame and learn from Chagare, our former president, who tackled this type of situation by using Operation Feed the Nation. We are watching from far away for us. This things is unfolding. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And he's continuing and say, hardship saga. What the federal government should do to avoid more casualty. Okay, we've taken this before, and okay, we've taken this. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Agonabo, no far Aguluzibo. This is the spot where we'll call it a day on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Remember, it comes your 103.5 FM. Remember, it comes your way weekdays in the morning. Once is 7 o'clock, so keep a date. And don't touch the dial of Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Once is 8:20 this morning, we'll be back with Birthday Splash. Till we meet again, I am Martin. Have a beautiful morning.
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on Ebona FM, who will? As the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be, our government to make sense of it all. Street report is causing social change across your streets. In your community, Street Report is here with hardcore journalism to get to the roots of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin Ifan, number the first every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on Epona 103.5 FM as Street Reports on Face. On Emas Nebona the corner 24/7, 24/7.